Christmas is Saturnalia.
Okay.
Christmas is a pagan festival. Okay. Then Christmas, Christians just rebranded it. It's like an idle milk. Then you just removed the label and then you put tin tomatoes around it. Anybody who sees it as tin tomatoes. You get some, you open, that's what it is. So please, Christ never celebrated it. The apostle never celebrated it. The Bible never mentioned it. The first time human beings heard the name Christmas was from the Emperor Constantine the Great, who was a sun worshipper. He was the one who introduced a lot of things into Christianity.
Criticize Christmas as being a pagan tradition. What will be your response to that?
It's not a pagan tradition because we don't celebrate Christmas to worship a pagan God. We worship the Christ of the Bible. So it can't be a pagan tradition. You can say that maybe it occurs in proximity to a certain pagan festival or however we see it. But then we have to understand that, the way the world operates, for example, all our days of the week, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're all named after pagan gods. So are we going to say there's nothing like Monday again? There's no Tuesday, there's no Wednesday because Wednesday is Woodens Day and all of that. So how are you going to call it? Or how are you going to relate? So if I say today is Tuesday, does it then make me an idol worshiper because I've called today Tuesday? Christianity happened in real time. Jesus was not born into timelessness. He was born into time. So his birth, even if we know it, will coincide with something already in existence. So let's say your birth is on the 6th of March in Ghana. It coincides with the independence of Ghana. Does it mean that your birth, therefore, is subsumed under independence because we celebrate your birthday on Independence Day? No, they are two different events, although they happen on the same day. So yes, Christmas happens on a certain day. Some people may have an association with it, but it is a clear recognition of Jesus Christ.
Christmas comes every year. Right on time, December hits and suddenly everything changes. In Ghana, you feel it in the air. The harmattan dust settles just enough for the lights to shine brighter. The streets get louder, the markets get busier, and your phone starts vibrating with messages like, "Chale, where we dey link up Christmas?" And don't get me wrong, Christmas has always been joyful. We grew up knowing it as a season of laughter, food, music, and family. Rice and chicken, jollof debates, new clothes, church on the 25th, and plenty movement after. But here's the honest question we don't ask enough. Is Christmas losing its relevance, or have we just changed what it means? Because today, Christmas feels louder, but somehow quieter at the same time. Louder with parties, concerts, festivals, sales, Detty December, flights landing every hour, but quieter when it comes to reflection, quieter when it comes to Jesus. And maybe that's not entirely new. Even in the Bible, when Jesus was born, most people missed it. The inns were full, the town was busy, life was happening, and the Savior of the world arrived quietly. So maybe Christmas hasn't lost its meaning. Maybe we've just filled the space where reflection used to live. In Ghana today, Christmas has become many things. For some, it's a season of homecoming, traveling from Accra to the village. For others, it's business, selling, hustling, surviving the year-end economy. For many young people, it's vibes, memories, experiences, Instagram moments, and none of these things are wrong. Celebration is not the enemy of faith. But here's the tension. When celebration no longer points back to Christ, we don't lose Christmas. We lose direction. Christmas, at its core, is not about escape. It's about arrival. Not about how far we can travel, but about how close God came. Jesus didn't arrive in comfort. He didn't wait for conditions to be perfect. He entered a broken world. Politically tense, economically strained, spiritually dry. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? That's why Christmas still matters, especially in Ghana today, in a country where people are praying for opportunity, for stability, for leadership with integrity, for hope that feels practical, not theoretical. Jesus' birth wasn't just a spiritual moment, it was a statement that God shows up in the middle of real life, not just in church buildings, but in homes, streets, communities. So what has changed? We've shifted from meaning to momentum, from purpose to pressure, from why are we celebrating to how hard can we celebrate? And again, small humor here, some of us can plan December events better than we plan our prayer life all year. But fixing this isn't about guilt, it's about alignment. Christmas doesn't need to be cancelled, it needs to be recentered. Imagine if Christmas in Ghana became known not just for enjoyment, but for generosity. Not just for concerts, but for compassion. Not just for noise, but for meaning. Imagine families actually telling the story again. Not rushing church to go and eat, but understanding why we go first. Imagine young people realizing that Christ is not competing with culture, He's the foundation of it. Because Christmas is not just the celebration of a birth, it's the reminder of a mission. Jesus came to restore broken relationships between God and humanity and between people themselves. So no, Christmas is not losing relevance. If anything, the world needs it more than ever. What we need to fix is not the holiday, but our focus. Pause. And remember that the greatest gift of Christmas was not something wrapped, it was someone sent.